How to survive a nuclear attack. To survive a nuclear attack, seek shelter immediately and do not leave your shelter for at least 48 hours. While in your sheltered area, ration your food and water to make sure there's enough for everyone. To help reduce how much radiation you're exposed to, reinforce your walls and ceiling with dirt, tent materials, or anything else that you can easily access without exposing yourself to radiation from going outside. When you can leave your shelter, make sure to wear clothing from head to toe to avoid burns. Step 1. Make a plan. If a nuclear attack does happen, it won't be safe to venture outside for food. You should stay sheltered for at least 48 hours, preferably longer. Having food and medical supplies on hand can put your mind at ease and allow you to focus on other aspects of survival. Step 2. Stock up on non-perishable food. Non-perishables can last several years, whether it's in storage or in sustaining you after an attack. Choose items that contain a lot of carbohydrates, so you get more caloric bang for your buck, and store them in a cool, dry place. White rice, wheat, beans, sugar, honey, oats, pasta, powdered milk, dried fruits and vegetables. Build your supply slowly. Every time you go to the grocery store, pick up 1 or 2 more items for your food storage. Eventually, you should be able to build up a multi-month supply. Make sure you have a can opener for canned items. Step 3. Store water. Consider keeping a water supply in food-grade plastic containers. Clean the containers with a bleach solution, then fill them with filtered and distilled water. Aim to have 1 gallon per person per day. For purifying water in the event of an attack, keep basic household bleach and potassium iodide, Lugol's solution, on hand. Step 4. Get communication supplies. Being able to stay informed, as well as alerting others to your position, can be vitally valuable. Here's what you might need. A radio. Try to find one that's crank or solar powered. If you have to go with a battery-operated model, be sure to keep spare batteries on hand. Consider getting a NOAA weather radio as well. This will broadcast emergency information 24 hours a day. A whistle. You can use this to signal for help. Your cell phone. Cell service may or may not be maintained, but you'll want to be ready if it is. If you can, find a solar charger for your model. Step 5. Stock up on medical supplies. Having a few medical items available could be the difference between life and death if you're injured in the attack. You'll need a basic first aid kit. You can purchase these prepackaged, or make one yourself. You'll need sterile gauze and bandages, antibiotic ointment, latex gloves, scissors, tweezers, a thermometer and a blanket. A first aid instruction booklet. Purchase one from an organization like the Red Cross, or assemble your own with materials you print off from the internet. You should know how to bandage wounds, administer CPR, treat shock, and treat burns. Prescription medications or supplies. If you take a specific medication every day, try to make sure you have a small emergency supply built up. Step 6. Get other miscellaneous items. Round out your emergency preparedness kit with the following: a flashlight and batteries, dust masks, plastic sheeting and duct tape, garbage bags, plastic ties and wet wipes for personal sanitation, a wrench and pliers, to shut off utilities such as gas and water. Step 7. Keep an eye on the news. A nuclear attack will unlikely come out of the blue from an enemy nation. Such an attack would likely be preceded by a deteriorating political situation. A war with conventional weapons between nations that both have nuclear weapons, if not ended swiftly, may escalate towards nuclear war, and even limited nuclear strikes in one region carry the likelihood to escalate towards an all-out nuclear war elsewhere. Many countries have a rating system to denote the imminence of attack. In the USA and Canada, for example, it may be useful to know the DEFCON, Defense Condition, level. Step 8. Assess your risk and consider evacuation if a nuclear exchange is looking likely. If evacuation is not an option, then it should at least affect the kind of shelter you will construct for yourself. Learn your proximity to the following targets and plan appropriately. Airfields and naval bases, especially those known to house nuclear bombers, ballistic missile submarines, or ICBM silos. These are certain to be attacked even in a limited nuclear exchange. Commercial ports and runways over 10,000 feet, 3,048 meters, long. These are likely to be attacked even in a limited nuclear exchange, and certain to be attacked in an all-out nuclear war. Centers of government. These are likely to be attacked even in a limited nuclear exchange and certain to be attacked in an all-out nuclear war. Large industrial cities and major population centers. These are likely to be attacked in the event of an all-out nuclear war. Final step. Learn about the different types of nuclear weapons. Fission, A-bombs, are the most basic nuclear weapon and are incorporated into the other weapon classes. This bomb's power comes from splitting heavy nuclei, plutonium and uranium, with neutrons. As the uranium or plutonium split, each atom releases great amounts of energy, and more neutrons. The daughter neutrons cause an extremely fast nuclear chain reaction. Fission bombs are the only type of nuclear bomb used in war so far. This is the most likely type of bomb to be used by terrorists. Fusion, H-bombs, using the incredible heat of a fission bomb spark plug, compress and heat deuterium and tritium, isotopes of hydrogen, which fuse, releasing immense amounts of energy. Fusion weapons are also known as thermonuclear weapons since high temperatures are required to fuse deuterium and tritium. Such weapons are usually many hundreds of times more powerful than the bombs that destroyed Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The bulk of the US and Russian strategic arsenal are these types of bombs.